Alright, it's been a while since I posted a video. I'll show you what I've been up to. Picked up a 22 f150 with a Coyote motor, long bed, 373, 975 rear end. Yada yada yada. I picked it up with about 35,000 miles on it. Got a decent deal on it, so. Not that I got rid of anything. I still have, the Super Duty, the Ranger, excursions at my work. But anyway. Go over what I've been doing. Every time I post something about mods, I'm inundated with questions. So make a video and we'll kind of give you the 30,000 foot overview in one video here. Where do we start? Suspension. We'll start there. Did the 2-inch leveling puck up front. I tow a lot, so I'm okay with a little bit of rake, but it had 4 inches of rake being an FX4. Had 4 inches of rake from the factory, and it just looked ridiculous. So I did the 2-inch puck up front. I also did, while I was in there, the adjustable caster kit. Makes it a lot easier doing your alignment. The rear. This truck was special ordered for somebody in Canada, and apparently Canadian dealers can order different option packages that we can here in the States. I think that, coupled with this being a COVID built truck, it's got some weird options that don't make sense. They make perfect sense because it's what I wanted, but you can't order them. So it doesn't have the max tow package, but it's got the max tow bumper, it's got the max tow hitch. It's got the 975 rear end, but it's got the version without the axle bolts on the end. So you would think it would have the max tow package having all that, but alas, I've got the 2-pack leaf springs with the composite lower overload spring. So yeah, go figure. The rear, I did an airbag system. With all the options that are out there, I think this is way best bang for the buck, and the fact that it rides like it's stock when I'm not using it. Just leave a couple pounds of air in it, but when I do need it, it takes about 10 seconds that I can put whatever I need in there to level it back out. I think that's about it for suspension. I blacked out all my badges, did the F150 inlay, my usual hitch like I do in all my vehicles, tonneau cover. It's got a spray-in bed liner and a plastic insert. Long story, don't ask. Anyway, what else? Did LED upgrades, just the bulbs, because this is the mid-tier taillights. So it's got the LED backup light, but it had incandescent turn and tails. So I put in LEDs in the turn and tails, blacked those out. Also did LEDs up here in the front. It's got the LED reflector headlight, high and low, but the turn and tail was also halogen. Did a recessed bar in there, just lopped out centerpieces. A single row bar like that, and it fits in there perfectly. There's actually no brackets, no nothing. It's just VHB taped in, and you can literally rip the entire grill out of the truck before that light will move. I did the low profile bug deflector. I had the regular one that I run in all my trucks on there, but didn't like how it was flapping around, and these low profile ones are just way cooler. I chopped the lower air dam. Not only did I chop the lower air dam, I chopped the lower air dam, and I removed the active air dam, the one that lowers, because who needs that shit on there. Made myself a set of decals because I wanted to kind of accentuate the wannabe cowl hood looking deal. Got some ditch lights on here, or I'll forever know them as alley lights. It's got the ones in the mirror here. Towing mirrors, that's another thing. It's got the ones in the mirror here, but they really don't light up anything. And I'm so used to driving that for decades, and I've got alley lights, takedown, backup lights. So I've gotten kind of accustomed to being able to light stuff up next to me. Tint the windows 20% and 5% on the brow up there. Did my own upfitter switches. They want $400 to buy that console piece with the upfitter packages in it, if you can find one. Or just buying the bank of switches was ridiculously expensive too, so I just made my own. All those work the light bar. I've got warning lights. And I guess we'll address the warning lights now. So, warning lights. Got them in the badge. Got them in the grill. Flashing the DRL headlight and fog lights. Flashing these factory lights. It's a plug-and-play system. No wires cut, no nothing. Got a whole bunch of different patterns you can do. If you're interested in this, contact George over at Wicked Warning. She's got plug-and-play packages to flash all your factory stuff. That you can flash the mirrors. I've got, for the factory stuff flashing, I've got the tails and the DRLs. Up there up top, I've got a sound off bezel that incorporates your OEM brake light plus puts your warning lights up there. And I got a set down here in the corners, tucked in. Again, I don't have a real reason to have warning lights on this truck. Had them on this truck for a while because it was kind of a chase truck for plow trucks whenever somebody was broke down. Had them on my Super Duty because it's been a plow truck its whole life. In fact, my daughter the other day says, people used to ask me all the time why your dad's got all those warning lights. And I told them I don't know, but we sure find ourselves in lots of situations where we need them. So, they're on here. So, yeah, all those lights are used. Now, all the white lights to the rear will come on. Well, I'll just show you. Easier to show you than try to explain it all. So, I've got backup override, or I can manually turn backup lights on. So, when I put the truck in reverse, those come on. Those come on. They're not flashing now, it's just the frame rate of the phone. But all those come on when I put the truck in reverse. Oh, I've got to switch to override it for, you know, the clown who wants to come up behind me and put his brights on. Well, as long as we're in the interior. Well, with the 3W floor mats. They're cheaper than the Huskies and all the usual suspects. And every bit the same quality. They're fantastic. They fit perfectly. They're they're wonderful. Seat covers. I forget who makes these actually, but there's a dozen people on Amazon selling these knockoff seat covers that run you about $250, and they're pretty nice. This being an XLT, it's got the cloth seats. Not that I mind cloth seats. I've got leather seats and pretty much everything else I own, and I always end up covering them anyway because when it's 100 degrees and you stick to them, that's no fun. Yeah, so these things are fantastic. Both seats, the console, the back seat. Steering wheel wrap. It's one of the hand-stitched decent ones. I end up putting those in all my trucks just because I'm used to it. So, here's what I get a lot of questions about. You can't, here, let me start this. On the 8-inch display, you can't have numbers under your gauges like you can on the 12-inch display. You can go into foreskin on the 12-inch display and you can put temperatures for your oil temp and your trans temp. You can't do that with the 8-inch display, and I'm bothered by that. So what I did is I've got a cheap Android tablet that fits in right there, and that's running Torque Pro. It's a $5 app. You need that. You need a $20 OBD2 adapter that will Bluetooth to this. But you can set this up with about 1,000 different gauges, different colors, different gauge styles. It's an endless cacophony of arrangements you can do. But nevertheless, I've got my trans temp, my coolant temperature, and a bunch of other stuff that, and you can have as many screens as you want in here. Yeah, so that's my answer to I'm not doing the 12-inch upgrade because, that's like $3,000, and quite frankly, this was like, $60. So that's what we're doing. AC on. What else in here? 5% tint up there. I guess we can address the sound system. So I replaced all the door speakers, the tweeters and the A-pillars, the dash speaker. I went with Type R, Alpine Type R 6x9s in the front door, the components with their tweeter. Did the Dayton 8-ohm driver everybody puts in the front in there, in the dash. Kicker Type S, the new versions, 6.5s in the rear door. Don't mind the moving blanket. My dog is back here with me all week long, so put that down. And then back here, yeah, the audio control LC5i Pro, signal converter, both Pioneer Class D. I've had such good luck with these amps. They're in this truck, they're in that truck, they're in my Excursion that's at work. I've had such good luck with them. They're so incredibly efficient. They never get hot. They put out plenty of power, and I said I've never had any trouble with them ever. They're both Class D. I'm doing like 100x4 to the satellites, and what about 800? 800 down to 2 ohms on the subs. Excuse me. Subs under the back seat. One with the Scar. The sealed dual 12 box, which I bought it just for the box because, Scar drivers are, well, they are what they are. They're cheap and they're decent, but they're nothing to write home about. And actually let me shut this off. In my Excursion, in the back barn doors, I've got two 12s in the barn doors. And they're Pioneer shallow mounts, and they're good subs. And I never drive that truck, hardly ever. So I bought this box, and I was just going to swap the subs. I was just going to swap the drivers, pull the Scars out, throw them in the Excursion, and put the good drivers in here. But I've been surprisingly impressed with how good that box sounds for what it is. So I'm going to leave them in there. They've only been in there for a week or two, so I'm going to let them break in and deal with it till I deal with it. Radar detector is plugged right in by the little pigtail adapter, and you can literally plug in scavenge power right off the back of your mirror. That is an actual coyote skull. What else? Oh, under the hood. Not a whole lot under here yet. I'm forcing myself to kind of keep it that way for a little while. But what we did do, I did put a catch can in. There's a bunch of, everyone's got an opinion on catch cans, but they're cheap and it really doesn't hurt anything. And it is catching oil. Not a lot, but I mean, it is catching oil. So, like I said, no harm, no foul, and they're cheap. This had what everybody refers to as the COVID battery in it when I originally got the truck. And numerous times throughout the night, I would get the message from the Ford app that the truck is now in deep sleep and not going to listen to you because the battery voltage is down to 12.1. So yeah, batteries are the Ford Motorcraft batteries from back then were just junk, and they're all still small. I think they were a size 6, an L6. This is an 8, it'll fit an 8. I mean, the tray is meant for an 8. So why wouldn't you put an 8 in here? There's way more capacity. The other thing is you got to go into FORScan, and you need to tell battery management system, the BMS, that you put a bigger battery in it. Also, from the factory, these are only set to charge to 80%. That's what the BMS sets the charge rate to, because somewhere there's a bean counter that said if 80% the battery is going to last you 3 months longer. Well, I cranked mine up to, I think, 90, 92. And I've had no issues with anything since. And I was getting all kinds of crazy dash warnings, and anytime the voltage drops down to that, the computer just loses its mind and dash looks like a pinball machine. Yeah, so that's pretty much all that was done under here. I've got a couple other things in the work. I 3D printed some inserts to go in this lower grill, because with it being open like that, it just looks like a whale sifting plankton. And I'm gonna fabricate a receiver to go in there, so I can put a receiver on the front for snaking my trailers around in the yard, and also so I can mount my winch up there, temporarily. It's not gonna live up there, but if I need a winch, I want to have a receiver up there where I can throw a winch on the front of the truck as needed. What else? Towing mirrors. Yes. I used to hate towing mirrors. I ordered this Super Duty in '98. It's a '99. It's the year they switched over to the new style body. And I ordered it. This truck here has got every single option that was available except for the towing mirrors. I ordered the sport mirrors because I always thought the towing mirrors were ridiculous. And then my Excursion, I've got a 7.3 Excursion that has towing mirrors. And after towing stuff having the towing mirrors, now I can't live without them. So I put towing mirrors on here. These are not OEM Ford because I don't have $1,000 to just light on fire for no reason. These are Amazon specials. I think I paid $475. They bolt right up. They're a perfect fit. Both pane, top and bottom, are heated. It's got the turn signal. It's got the marker light. It's got the spotlight. It's got the puddle light. The passenger side's got the temp sensor. It's got everything other, it just doesn't say Ford here. And it's literally a third the price. So, whatever. Alright, this is getting long. I think that's it. If you've got questions, like always, just ask. Later.